people, in today's video, Alright, enough British. We're reacting to his story.
Yeah, right. Nobody say I couldn't be British.
Hey, get off of me, bottle of water, dude!
What are you talking about, mate?
It's not just one of those solo videos today.
Yeah, no, it's with his friend.
That's British. A British dude.
I'm totally British and not American. Duty had.
Alright, anyways, let's start.
Alright, we're listening.
Thunder shook the gas station windows, and the lights flickered, and I grabbed the counter. The fluorescent steadied, and I exhaled. I was 16, and pulling a solo shift because the other guy called...
I thought his name was His Story, not Caleb.
Yeah, it was Caleb.
And bro, the his was never that color. And nobody can make it.
But why are you 16?
Why are you 16?
And working on a store.
Sick.
Yeah,
the
bro.
storm had been
You're not
building
even
for an
done with
hour.
Go
and
back
every-
to your mom, bro.
Yeah,
I'm
bro,
like 20 years
finish
old.
high school.
Yeah, finish high school.
I'm like 50.
Focus
I'm
on
kidding.
graduating, D- student.
Time the thunder cracked, the lights blinked, and the dread punched through me. I paced past the fire extinguisher on the wall for the 10th time. A box of zip ties sat on the shelf under the counter next to the scissors. I counted the
That
register
sounds kinda
twice to keep
sus,
busy
Jack.
and slid the drawer shut, and every light on the block died at the same time. The register died, and the coolers stopped, and I grabbed the counter because
Yo,
the door
don't forget to be British.
Oh yeah, I
was
almost forgot
instant
to be
and
British.
total. I yanked out my phone, and the screen said, citywide power outage. My boss had already texted, stay put, lock the doors. I locked the front door and paced behind the counter.
Alright, bro. You don't need to lock the doors. It's not like somebody's gonna come and rob you at the middle of the night for no reason.
Actually, he's gonna get robbed. And he's
probably gonna get
then
robbed,
He's
but-
gonna get shot, and then he's gonna eat the bullet because he has plot armor.
And the security camera above the register blinked once and went dark with everything else. I texted my friend Nate because he always answered no matter what time it was. Bro, the whole city just went dark. You seeing this? No response. Nate was the kind of kid who texted back.
How are you texting?
Yeah,
if
how
the
are you
power is out.
Oh,
You don't have Wi-Fi. How are you texting, dude? Of course
You
he's
can
not.
text
Of course he's not gonna respond because your text isn't gonna send.
Yeah, but like also,
Survival instincts of a fly right here, bro. You don't have to text your friend in the middle of a blackout where he won't even get your message.
like bro,
Before
I'm
you
pretty
put your
sure
phone
he
down.
knows.
We shared a desk in shop class, and he chewed the inside of his cheek when he was thinking. Rain hammered the roof, and nothing else made a sound. Something banged against the side of the building, and I dove behind the counter with my heart hammering. Wind was rattling the propane cage outside.
Bro, I thought you were
shoved
hiding
the toppled
behind-
display
Dude,
back
I
up with
thought you were
shaking
hiding
hands and
behind the
laughed at myself
thingy.
for jumping. A knock on the
Shut up.
glass. I spun, and a woman was standing in the rain holding a sleeping toddler against her chest. She knocked again, and her face
It's a
was...
trap, bro. It's
Leave
clearly-
out! It's a trap. That girl's a fake doll, and you're gonna die. She's
It's
gonna
so
come and rob
obvious.
you of all your belongings, and then
Look at
you're gonna
her.
have the worst life you could possibly
Look
have.
at the baby. It's probably just a doll, bro.
Desperate through the wet glass. I flipped the lock and pulled the door open. Can I just get gas? My daughter's asleep and I'm almost on empty. The toddler's head was on her shoulder and one tiny fist was clutching a stuffed elephant and she was drooling onto her mom's shirt.
Alright,
Of
she
course,
doesn't really
pumps
look
are
like a
down,
fake
but I can
guy,
flip the
you know?
manual override in
But,
the
like,
back. Thank you so
I
much.
don't
We've
feel
been
like
driving
this
for
makes
40
sense.
minutes trying to find somewhere open. My husband's deployed and it's just me and her, and I've been going in circles in the dark. I handed her a paper towel and she wiped the rain off the toddler's face, and the little girl scrunched her nose and squeezed the elephant tighter without waking up. She could
Is she
sleep.
not gonna pay for it? Is she not gonna pay for the?
Yeah, bro, you need to pay for you to stay here. Like, bro, you're like breaking and entering, basically.
It's the middle of the night. It's past closing.
A hurricane. She basically is. The woman laughed, and the relief of having another person loosened the knot in my chest. I'm Caleb, Michelle, and this is Lily. I noticed
Bro,
the
you're
name
not
tag
Caleb, you're
safety
his story.
pinned to the elephant's ear, Ellie, in wobbly marker. Michelle caught me squinting at it. She named it herself. Can't spell yet, but she got close. She bounced Lily and hummed something, and Lily's fist tightened on Ellie's trunk in her sleep, and Michelle kissed the top of her head. We'll be home soon, baby. The gas station felt warmer and
It's a
smaller
toddler,
with
not a
the minutes,
baby.
and the blackout didn't matter. I went to the back room to flip the manual pump switch. I could hear Michelle laughing at something Lily did in her sleep. The front door chimed behind me. I came back out and my stomach dropped through the floor. 3 men in ski masks and gloves inside the gas.
Oh, that
We guessed it. He was gonna get robbed. He was gonna die. He's gonna be
Yeah,
really in trouble.
didn't you just say that he? Why would he lock the door? You know what?
The biggest
Oh, yeah,
one
I'm
already
stupid,
behind the
sorry.
counter, the second flipping the lock, the third 2 feet from Michelle. She yanked Lily against her chest,
Not
and
the
the girl
greatest-
woke up whimpering, and Michelle's face went white, and everything warm about the last 10 minutes died. Nobody moves. He grabbed my collar, and I swung at him, and he caught my wrist.
Bro, you were just putting your hands up. What do you mean you swung your fist at him? Are you crazy?
Are you crazy, dude? You don't have to attack him. All he wants is the stuff that you own at this gas station. It's not like he's gonna take your PC. Like, he's not.
It's a store, idiot.
Yeah, like, even if you get robbed, you can just say, it's not my fault, it's the pregnant lady's fault.
And slammed it down and had a zip tie cranked around both wrists before I could swing the other. I kicked
Bro,
and
zip
he
ties
pinned my
are easy
legs
to
and dragged
unwrap,
me to the counter and zip tied
get
my
out.
hands to the metal shelf underneath. I yanked
not how it
immediately
works,
and the
right?
shelf rattled and he kicked me in the ribs so
There's
hard
only
something
connected to the
cracked
shelf,
and I
yo.
curled around the pain but kept pulling. He crouched and ripped my name tag off. Caleb, I know your name. When this is over, you forget everything. He pointed at
Okay,
Michelle.
bro, of course you know his name. You just pulled off the tag.
Exactly, like, bro. he
Baby
thinks
stops
that-
crying or we
thinks
have a
that we're all
problem.
idiots.
Lily was wailing. Michelle pressed the girl's face against her shoulder and rocked, and the terror on her face gutted me so completely. I pulled at the zip tie until my skin tore and blood ran down both forearms.
That's
and
not
zip-
how it works. Zip ties
It's
are
not-
not that strong.
It's not that serious, bro. You don't have to do
Bro,
all that.
just let the
There were
ba-
scissors
just
in the
let the
counter
baby die.
earlier.
You barely
There were
even know them.
scissors in the counter earlier. Genuinely, there were scissors in the counter earlier. You literally said it. Just
You
use those
should have
scissors.
armed yourself.
my elbows. Michelle saw it,
Stop.
and her face crumpled, and she mouthed, "Stop," but I shook my head and kept pulling. The big one ripped the cash drawer out, and bills scattered. 300? That's it? He swept the drawer off the counter, and it crashed into the chips. We hit the houses. No
$300
alarms.
is so
No
much. $300 is a lot, bro. Chill.
cameras. This is home base. He pulled a list of addresses from his pocket. The small one crouched in front of Lily, his head tilted, almost gentle. How old? Michelle's voice shook. 18 months. The gentleness vanished when he straightened up. Keep her quiet. 2 of them went out into the dark. The small one stayed, jittery, pacing. His mask was crooked, and I could see his jaw, and something about it tugged at the back of my brain. The way he chewed the inside of his cheek. I'd seen someone do that every day in shop class.
Bro, why does it have to be your friend?
Why is your friend always chewing the top of his cheek? Like,
Because
The
it's-
second they left, I started pulling at the shelf. The screws were loose in the old wood. I
That's
braced
not
my
what arms
feet and
look like
pulled,
for,
and my
mate.
cracked ribs screamed, and I bit down until I tasted blood, and the screws ripped free. I flattened behind the counter. The security camera had a tiny green light, battery backup, still recording. I grabbed the scissors and sawed through the zip tie, and it snapped,
There
and
you
blood
go.
was running down both
Now you're
wrists,
getting
and
the
relief
scissors.
surged so hard through me, my head spun. The fire extinguisher.
Your head can't-
red
what
metal.
was all that bleeding for, dude?
Yeah, bro, like your head can't spin either. That's not how it works.
10 feet. He turned from the window and walked toward Michelle. Your car still running? She nodded. Keys. She pulled back. Please, her car seat's in there. He grabbed for the keys and she twisted and Lily screamed and the fury was so instant and blinding my body moved
You're
before.
a woman. That's weak. Just give
Bro,
it to
just
that.
kick him in the face, you idiot.
Or just give it to him.
Yeah.
Especially, like, if you're a fully grown man, maybe you can do it. But you're a woman. I
Yo,
mean,
BRB.
Not to be that guy.
BRB.
But you're not reliable for all this.
Brain caught up. I ripped the extinguisher off the wall and swung at the back of his legs, and he went down hard. He rolled and kicked me in the stomach, and I doubled over but held on. I swung again.
Why is he attacking you if he's your friend?
Exactly, bro. Like, you should
Shouldn't-
have identified him immediately.
Yeah,
Shoulder
if he's like the only person on earth that chews their cheek like an idiot.
And he crashed into
No,
the chip
Jesus,
display,
Jesus.
and the whole unit toppled, and cans and glass exploded everywhere. He grabbed a bottle and hurled it at my head, and I ducked, and it shattered against
That's
the
not how
wall.
it
I
works.
charged
Wait,
and
I guess
swung
it
low
is.
and caught his knee, and he buckled. Ellie was on the floor between us, staring up with button eyes.
You're gonna save the doll over anything else, but you're just gonna be like, time to save Ellie the elephant chat! Yeah!
Slammed the extinguisher into his chest, and he let go. Michelle, run! Your car! She sprinted for the door with Lily screaming. I shoved through the back room door and slammed it, and threw my weight against it, and he hit.
You saved the elephant over your own life. What the hell is wrong with this guy?
From
What do
the
you
other
think
side
you
so hard
you
my
even
feet
saved the
slid.
elephant,
I jammed
Dad.
the mop
You
handle
looked at
through
the
the
elephant
door
and then
handle and
ignored it.
burst out the back exit.
Look,
Michelle's
Oh,
hand
at least he's smart enough to go
Because
up
he'd
the
been a
back
hella
exit.
dead right now.
Is he trying to hit on this lady? I feel like he is.
Yeah, but he's trying
Why
to...
else would he save this random reliable bait?
The pump.
Yeah, bro,
She
I
was
bet he
turning the
thinks she's
key
a hell
and
of
the
a lady.
engine clicked dead. She'd been running it for 40 minutes. Dead battery. The panic was choking me. I sprinted to the hood and slammed my palms on it. Pop it! She was shaking so hard she couldn't find the latch. Lily was screaming in the back. Michelle, the hood! She found
Lily,
it, and I
don't
ripped the
stop
cables
screaming,
and
you
dried
might
the
die,
terminals
it's
with
not
my
gonna be
shirt.
our
And
fault.
inside
You
the store,
want her
the
to
mop handle.
escape, and you're breaking her car.
No, she's not breaking a car.
He was almost
Yes, he
through.
is.
Try now. Click. Nothing. I slammed the battery housing and corrosion crumbled off the terminal. Again. Click.
Wait, do you
the
want to
engine.
be a permanent crew member for the Alpha crew?
Sure.
All right, this is our second crew member, dudes. Like, probably not going to be in many of our videos because it's literally just me most of the time. But sometimes you'll get to see the Alpha crew.
All right, enough yapping about this
And died.
stuff.
The back door was splintering. I grabbed both terminals and squeezed them against the posts with my bare hands. Now, the engine caught and roared, and I yanked my hands free and slammed the hood. Drive, don't stop. What about drive? She tore out, and the tail light.
Go in her car. Are you genuinely a stupidity little looty?
He is a stupid idiot.
You have time to go in her car. Why are you
Stupid, bro.
idiot?
vanished.
Idiot.
I sprinted to the front and hauled the door shut with my bloody hands slipping and grabbed the padlock from the propane cage, and it took 3 tries to snap it through. He was locked inside, pounding on the glass. The back door splintered open behind me. He was getting out, headlights coming fast. The other 2. The van pulled in, and the big one jumped out. What happened? He got out. Woman's gone. The big one scanned the dark. I was behind the air pump, 15 feet away. Find him, I ran. Vaulted the fence, and my ribs screamed.
Yeah, maybe you should have made the smart decision of going into that hell of a lady's car.
Yeah, bro.
Stumbled through a backyard, fence rattling behind me, boots on grass. I cut through a yard, and a motion light clicked on, and I was lit up, and I dove over the next fence and landed in a garden and kept running. I shoved through a hedge, and thorns ripped my arms and came out on a pitch-black street
Bro,
and
what
sprinted
thorns are
3
you talking
blocks
about?
and ducked into an alley behind a dumpster. Flashlight beams at the end of the alley. Check over here. I pressed my face into my knees and pulled my feet in, and the beam swept past the dumpster 6 inches from my shoes. He's gone. Come on.
Bro,
We're
you're
losing time
looking
on
under
the
that
houses.
dumpster. You can
Boots.
see it as a feet. You
It's
saw it
so
recently.
obvious. Everyone in his story is an idiot.
They went back to robbing the neighborhood. I stayed behind
I
the
mean,
dump.
except for that baby. That baby is a hell of a hell of a baby, bro.
No, stop it, bro.
Shaking and crying from exhaustion. Then I heard screaming, not from the gas station, from a house 2 streets over. A woman screaming, "Get out of my house," and glass breaking, and I could hear it cutting through the rain, and I knew exactly
Oh,
what was.
so of course she lives right next to the gas station. At that rate, why don't you just not go back to your house that's literally on the other side of the gas station? Are you
Freaking idiot!
genuinely stupid?
Freaking
happening.
idiot,
They were inside
bro.
someone's home. I should have stayed behind the dumpster. I should have waited for the sirens. But Michelle's face flashed through my head, and the sound of Lily crying, and I was
Yeah,
terrified.
he definitely has a big crush on that lady.
Oh, yeah, bro.
But I shoved myself up and ran toward the screaming. A little yellow house with the front door kicked open. I crouched behind the porch railing and dialed 911 with shaking bloody fingers. 3 men robbing a house on Miller Street. Yellow house, broken front door. There's a woman inside screaming.
Just say her address, idiot. Just say her address. Are you stupid?
Yeah, he's stupid.
Look at that mailbox, or look at just say her address. They're gonna end up going to some random backroom house.
Exactly.
I hung up. Inside, I could hear them tearing through cabinets, and the woman was sobbing. I grabbed a garden gnome off the porch next door and hurled it through the side window of the robber's van, and the alarm.
So you're not gonna save her. You're just gonna destroy their van. Are you stupid? Are you stupid? Just instead of just destroying their van, why don't you save that lady?
Erupted.
Oh,
the
he
big
cares
one
more about destroying their property than saving the lady.
Bro, this
crashing through the front door, and I was already running. He saw me in the streetlight for half a second. It's the kid from the station. Both of them came after me. I sprinted down the alley, and the big one was fast for his size, and I could hear his breathing getting closer. I cut left and grabbed a recycling bin and threw it behind me, and plastic bottles exploded across the pavement, and he tripped and went down hard and...
How did you not see that?
I know, bro. He's like 5 seconds away from that.
Move to the side.
What an idiot.
Move to the side like a genius.
I vaulted a chain link fence and
And even if you did step on that, you're
Not
not gonna
even
trip.
a genius, like a
to
normal
a yard,
average.
and there was nowhere left to run,
dumb
so I
person.
crawled under a deck and pressed myself flat against the dirt,
Even
and
a dumb
cobwebs
person
stuck
would
to
do
my
that.
face, and something skittered across my hand, and I clamped my jaw shut to keep from screaming. Boots on the pavement above me, flashlight beam.
You care more about the spider being there than the literal dudes trying to kill you.
By
You're
the
like,
way, you just said pavement, Bobby. What
Creeping through the
pavement?
fence slats. The light crept along the edge of the deck 6 inches from my face. Check under there. We don't have time. That alarm's gonna bring every neighbor on the block. We go now. The van peeled out. I crawled out from under the deck and spit dirt out of my mouth and stumbled back to the yellow house. The old woman was standing in her doorway in a bathrobe, clutching a phone and shaking.
oh, so it's not the same lady.
Yeah,
You're
but-
just hitting on all the ladies. You're just hitting on all the ladies, and you are probably trying to hit on the baby too by giving it that elephant.
That's called being a little Diddy Epstein.
A bit so
Okay, they took my mother's jewelry box. It was the only thing I had left of her. Her voice broke, and I grabbed the porch railing because my legs were about to give out. The police are on their way. I called them. She looked at my wrists. The gauze from the zip ties had soaked through, and blood was dripping off my fingers onto her welcome mat. Oh,
And that's why you should have used the scissors earlier.
Yeah, you.
honey, you're bleeding everywhere. I'm okay. You are not okay. You're a child. She went inside and came back with a dish towel and wrapped it around my worst wrist and tied it tight, and her hands were gentle and steady, even though she'd just been robbed. What's your name? Caleb. Caleb, why on earth did you run toward this house? Because I could hear you screaming. She pressed her hand against my cheek, and her eyes filled up. I heard sirens getting closer, and I turned and ran back toward the gas station because the night wasn't over. The parking lot was dark and empty. The padlock was on the front door, but the back door was hanging off its hinges. I stepped through, and glass crunched under my shoes. The store was
What was
trashed,
that, broken
chips
wall?
and soda and broken glass and the cash drawer on the floor. I grabbed the fire extinguisher from where I'd dropped it. Then I heard breathing behind the ice freezer. I raised the extinguisher and crept toward the sound. The green glow of the security camera lit up a face.
Dude, why are they hiding in the freezer? And if they are hiding in the freezer, don't open the freezer because they're going to be stuck in that freezer and they're going to die because they're going to suffocate.
Yes, idiot. Just let them die.
And I stumbled backward. Nate Mitchell. I'd known that jaw. I'd been staring at it all night through the crooked mask, and my brain had been screaming at me to recognize it, and I wouldn't let myself. 4th grade. He came to my birthday party, and we ate so much cake we both threw up. Shared headphones in study hall every single day for 2 years. He was holding his shoulder where I'd hit him with the extinguisher, and tears were running down his face. Nate, Caleb, a woman and a baby were in this store. A little girl with a stuffed elephant was screaming on the floor while you stood over her. He flinched at every word. I told them the station was closed. I told my brother, your brother kicked my ribs in. He's my brother. I couldn't say no. You could have said no. You have my number. You sat next to me in study hall yesterday. I know. He pressed his face into his hands. He said nobody gets hurt. Quick money. My brother got out of county 6 months ago, and he showed up at my house and said he had a plan, and I was going to help. You could have said no. You've met my brother. He was right. I had just met his brother, the man who cracked my rib and ripped a cash register apart with his bare hands. He moved into my room, took my bed, ate my food, told me I owed him because he didn't snitch on me for something I didn't even do. Nate wiped his face. I'm not making excuses. I'm just
No, Nate, you are definitely making excuses, and your excuse is that you're not making excuses, which is also an excuse.
Yes, you're a freaking idiot.
what happened.
Like, stop
Headlights
being
swept
sorry
through the
dumb.
windows. The van was back. Nate's face went white. They're back. My brother won't leave without me. He grabbed my arm. If he finds you here, he's not letting you walk out. The flashlight cut through the broken back doorway. The big one ducked in, and he looked even bigger in the dark, and his boots crunched on glass. He was...
Dude, why are you so discriminatory to this dude because he's fat? You're just like, you always have to point out how fat he is. And you always have to point out how small Nate is. Like, chill,
Terry-
dude.
Yeah, bro, like, why are
Carrying
you
the
saying the
crowbar from the
physical
van.
facts and
Nate,
not the
let's
real
go.
facts that are
Nate
happening in
squeezed my
true
arm.
time?
Stay down.
Well,
He
I
stood
don't- I
up.
don't
I'm
know.
here. The flashlight hit his face. Where's the kid? Gone. He ran. The big one grabbed Nate by the collar and shoved him toward the back door. Nate stumbled and planted his feet. Wait. We don't wait. I said wait. The big one swung the flashlight beam around the store, and it landed on me, crouched behind the aisle, and I could feel it on my face like a heat lamp. He's still here? He shoved Nate aside and came down the aisle with the crowbar raised, and he was twice my my size, and the fury on his face was volcanic. You locked my boy in. You let the woman go. You called the cops on us at that house. I raised the extinguisher. That's not going to stop me. I squeezed the handle and sprayed him clean.
Yeah, and
Yeah, it is
and
gonna
now-
stop you,
and now,
idiot.
and now you're gonna comment on how big he looks.
For real, bro. Stop saying
He
that.
screamed
Have
and
the size.
staggered,
Nobody
clawing at his
cares.
eyes, and crashed
Just
into
stop
the
being
cooler
an idiot.
doors and
Get
glass
wrecked.
shattered. The second guy came through the back door. Nate stepped into the aisle between us. He spread his arms wide and planted his
I
feet.
thought he was-
Enough! The second guy stopped.
What?
I thought he was forced into the thingy, the back cabinet thingy, bro. Not standing up with white stuff all over him.
I know what that stuff is, dude.
We're not gonna talk about what I
His
was
brother
just
was
thinking.
screaming and wiping
Okay,
his
that
eyes.
looks
Get out of
weird.
my way.
What's on it?
No,
Looks kinda
Nate, I
weird.
swear to God, move. This is my friend.
Kinda
His
looks
voice.
like Goon Juice. Kinda looks like Goon Juice.
No, you don't have to say that so
His mom
loud.
drove me to school when mine wouldn't. She packed me lunch because nobody packed mine. I sat next to him every day for 2 years, and he never once made me feel like I was less than anyone. He was crying and shaking and half the size of his brother, and he didn't move. I'm
Yeah,
done.
you had to mention that.
For real.
How much of a body shamer are you?
I did
Don't
this
say
because
it,
you told
Tom,
me
you're
to,
so
and I watched a
good.
baby scream on a floor because of us, and I'm
Also,
done.
they're brothers. I mean, I don't mean to be that guy, but like, their skin colors not the same at all. Like, did the parents divorce? Are they stepbrothers? I don't know, but why?
His brother lunged around him with the crowbar, and Nate grabbed his arm, and they crashed into the shelf, and cans rained down,
Right,
and I
right
swung
behind
the
him, smack him
extinguisher
in the
and
head with
connected
this fire.
Oh, he listened to you.
with the brother's back, and he dropped the crowbar and howled. The second guy bolted for the back door. Nate and his brother were on the ground, and Nate was holding his brother's arm with both hands, screaming, "Stop!" And I kicked the crowbar down the aisle and grabbed the front door key ring off the wall, and my bloody hands dropped it twice, and I yanked the padlock free and threw the door open, red and blue flooding the parking lot. 3 cruisers, officers pouring in. 3 inside. They rushed past me and pulled all 3 out in handcuffs. The brother was still wiping his eyes and cursing. Nate came out last. He was bleeding from a cut above his eye, and his hands were cuffed behind him, and he was 17 years old. His face found mine across the parking lot, and he held my eyes, and neither of us blinked. The kid who stood between his brother and me with his arms spread was
You're 16, he's 17. How are you in the same grade? Did he get held back or something?
loaded into a cruiser, and I pressed both hands over my face. The security camera, battery backup, green-tinted footage of the whole night. The officer played it on his laptop. 3 men entering, me on the floor, Michelle holding Lily, me breaking free, the extinguisher, and at the end, Nate stepping between his brother and me with his arms wide. We have everything on camera, including that kid stepping in front of a crowbar for you. The paramedic wrapped my wrists in white gauze. These are deep. You'll have scars. Michelle's minivan pulled into the lot. She got out, and Lily was asleep in the car seat with Ellie tucked under her arm. Michelle crossed the
So you did save the elephant to hit on that thing.
Yeah, bro, like she was
Parking
like,
lot.
what the heck?
What is wrong with you? Hitting on the baby?
straight
That's
into me
insane,
and
bro.
held on shaking. You told me to run. You needed to.
Oh,
Bro's doing things
looks
that
like the
other
sec-
people.
looks
Bro's
like-
doing devilish things that sounded very hellish.
looks like the second baby's gonna have orange hair.
To run. She's okay. My baby's okay because of you. She brought Lily over and put her in my arms, and she weighed nothing and smelled like baby shampoo, and her tiny hand curled around my finger,
What's
and
the
I choked
kiss
up
so
because
hard?
this little girl was safe and had no idea what happened tonight. My mom showed up in her bathrobe, police scanner in the kitchen. She grabbed my
So that was
face
your
and saw
mom?
the bandages
The
and
grandma was your mom. The grandma was your freaking mom. And you just acted like you were having an interaction with a stranger. And when you went to that yellow house, you did not have the common knowledge to know that it's your house.
You idiot.
bruise and pulled me in so hard my ribs screamed. You're done working nights. Mom, you're done. I buried my face in her shoulder because I was 16
why is the
and I'd
baby
fought
so
3
cr-
grown men
so
twice
pressure on
and
the
saved a
baby,
woman
bro?
from a house, and I wanted my mom, and she was here. The old woman from Miller Street gave a statement.
Oh,
She described the
never
kid
mind.
who threw a
Oh.
gnome through the van window,
Okay,
and the
that's probably
dispatcher
his grandma. Then why does it look so much like the mom?
Yeah, it's probably his
confirmed
grandma.
my 911 call. He ran toward the screaming, she told the officer. Everyone else would have run away. Nate wrote me from county, 1 page. I stepped in front of my brother because you swung a fire extinguisher for a baby you didn't even know. I want to be
How early is he sending these messages? Like, why is he sending the messages
Yeah, well, how does a day pass?
while
out of
he's
nowhere?
in the car?
Kind of person who does that. I'm not there yet, but I'm trying. I screenshot it and
See,
almost
it's not
posted
even
it to my
there yet.
Snapchat story, and then put my phone.
Now you're just using it for your Snapchat story. So you did all of that just so you could post stuff on your Snapchat story.
Yeah, it's not
Because some things
are.
aren't for the internet. I read it twice. The register was replaced, but the dent in the counter from where his brother ripped the drawer out was still there. My first day shift, I found Ellie behind the shelf where she'd rolled during the.
Bro, Ellie was in her hands when she was in the car. What the?
Why are there two
I'm
Ellies?
going to literally say a bad curse word because you are making no sense. What the bloody hell with the shit?
What the shit? Why is there two Ellies?
Bro,
Picked her up and
you're
put her on
mine.
the counter. Michelle came in a week later with Lily on her hip, and the little girl pointed and screamed, "Ellie!" And I handed it to her, and she hugged it against her
She
face.
already had Ellie. Why are there two Ellies?
Michelle grabbed my hand and held it. She didn't need to say anything. I squeezed back. Lily was already toddling toward the camp.
I squeezed back, and I'm a 16-year-old, and she's like a 40-year-old sugar mama.
I still like her so much that I'm gonna kiss her so hard when we get home.
Aisle like nothing had ever happened in this building.
She's a pedophile now.
All right, guys. Well,
Well, thank you for
watching. That was kind
no.
of fast. Really, just the end of the video.
Well,
Well,
see you
see
later.
you later.